Welcome everybody back to the Lantern Sports pregame show. I'm your host Kevin Lapka alongside Casey Smith. Ohio State Buckeyes number 10 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes dropped a little bit against the Akron Zips on a Saturday night matchup. Kind of a surprising Saturday night matchup, but nonetheless going to be a whole lot of fun to have fans back in the shoe for Saturday night. And boy, did things get a lot more interesting this week with C.J. Stroud being day-to-day, as said by Ryan Day, only expected to be used in emergency situations. So you know what that means? It means a whole lot of Kyle McCord and Jack Miller. Hopefully Ohio State fans do not have to see C.J. Stroud, but what does that mean, Casey, for the quarterback situation this game against this 1-2 Akron Zips team?
Yeah, C.J. Stroud yesterday at practice, just even when he was running, Kevin, he was favoring that arm.
Yeah.
It was definitely apparent that he was hurt. But with Jack Miller and Kyle McCord, especially in preseason camp, I saw Kyle McCord start to separate himself from Jack Miller a little bit, being able to win over that number 2 role. So I could see him trotting out first for Ryan Day's offense. And neither of these guys, they haven't thrown a college pass yet. The only action in college has been Miller's 2 attempts for 23 yards against Nebraska last year, where he had a 21-yard touchdown run. So in high school, these guys put up gaudy numbers, though. Kyle McCord, 6,887 yards and 88 touchdowns in just under 3 seasons. And the same could be said for Jack Miller. He had over 10,000 all-purpose yards, 115 all-purpose touchdowns. So I could see these guys coming out and having the game of their life, especially against a struggling Akron defense.
It's a strong thing to say, Casey, the game of their life. I mean, it's possible, but you also have to look at the Akron quarterback as well, DJ Irons. Tell us a little bit about him. You know, it's a player who was also involved in the competition in the offseason, but it's kind of showed out a little bit in those first 3 games.
Yep, DJ Irons, y'all may not have heard the name, but get to know the name because he's second in the country in completion percentage. He separated himself from Cato Nelson early in the season. They split time. But he showed out, especially in the Auburn season opener, in which, yes, the Zips lost 60-10. But DJ Irons, he made a case for himself, going 13 for 13, and with 129 yards and a touchdown. So I think, especially against an Ohio State struggling defense that gave up 428 yards to Davis Brin in Tulsa last week, I think that could definitely play into Irons' hands.
You're right, and what did Ohio State also do, especially in these first 3 games? They're allowing a lot of explosive plays, and explosive plays are extremely important to winning football games. And you look at Ohio State, 127th in the country, allowing 10-plus yard plays with 45. So they're allowing a whole lot of space for receivers to get open and allow to get yards after the catch. So, you know, that's Tulsa's quarterback, DJ Irons, with a very high completion percentage. You might see him have a little bit of success against this Ohio State defense if they continue to not really shore things up in the secondary. So you also look at Akron, though, 75th in the FBS, still allowing some explosive plays. So that's what's important, too, though, is, you know, you look at their passing abilities or pass defense abilities for Akron, not too bad, but rushing, they're 109th in the FBS, allowing 10-plus rushing yard plays and have allowed 174 rushing yards per game. So this is a situation where I think you could see the Ohio State offense of Ryan Day say, look, if Jack Miller and Kyle McCord aren't, you know, they're not fully confident in them, they're not fully ready to go, the nerves get to them, it's a night game, whatever it may be, you can rely on Mayan Williams, Travion Henderson, and Master T to kind of carry the load. I mean, it's a 3-headed monster, and they're at your disposal whenever you need it. And you look at that Akron defense, they're a little bit more vulnerable when it comes to the run than the pass, so I think you might see them go that direction on Saturday night.
I agree, and especially with Travion Henderson coming off the freshman rushing record in Ohio State history,
the hot
277 yards. Yep, exactly, the hot hand. I could see him just running wild today.
Yeah, absolutely right. That'll do it for us here at the Lantern Sports pregame show. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.